Today we're going to be installing custom seat covers in my Chevy Silverado. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott, and today we're going to be installing these beautiful seat covers from CustomInteriors.com into my Chevy Silverado pickup. Now, you've seen me install the custom interior covers in the C5, the C6, the C7, C8, and we're going to be doing a set of custom seat covers in my C8 also, and my E-Ray here soon. I just placed the order well, it was actually yesterday I placed the order, and so I will be getting those fairly soon, and then we'll be doing a video on that. But I want you to just take a look at these. I wanted to go for my material, and you'll see that when we get into the truck. It's just that kind of that ballistic fabric material. It's okay, but it just doesn't really make the truck look, you know, very luxurious at all, right? And to get into that, you know, you got to pay a lot more money when you're buying the truck. And I bought this new, and I've spent a lot of money on the truck, but I didn't want to spend a whole bunch more money on leather, and you got to move up another level. This is an RST. I could have gotten leather in it, but the cost to get that done from the factory is crazy, and so I went ahead and I did it this way because this is so much cheaper to do this. And so take a look at these. I mean, these are, they're custom made to fit the truck exactly. Hopefully my camera is picking this up, but they're just black with red stitching, very simple, but there is a lot of different ones that you can get. And this is a front and back kit, and so we'll be showing you how to install every bit of it, the front and the back. Now, I'm going to give you a couple little things here. Most of you can put a cover, you can pull a cover over your seat and make that part work. And these seats are actually very simple to install, but there's a couple little hidden tricks that I'm going to show you, and that's how to get the headrests off of the front and the back seats. They don't, it's not made very clear, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the headrest off, and that way you can see what, instead of trying to see what it looks like from an angle, I'm going to be able to give you a bird's eye view, because I've already pulled the headrest loose. So I'll pull it up and off here in a minute when we get the camera inside the cab, but I'm going to show you how it's done, because you don't need very many tools, and you don't need any big tools. As a matter of fact, the little hook kit, the little pick kit that I have, I got from Harbor Freight, and it was like a couple dollars, so really not a big deal. I think less than $5 to get them, and it's just got a couple little hooks, and makes it so simple to be able to get those headrests off. So anyway, but that isn't something that's just widely known. So if you got here and you got yourself a set of seat covers, you'd be like going, how do I get these seat cover the headrests off? So we're going to show you how to do that. So sit back and relax, and I'm going to show you how it's done. All right, guys, I'm sitting in the back seat of the truck, and you can see I've got the two front seats kind of leaned back, and so that's how you're going to want to position your seats so you can get the headrests off. Now, the only thing that you're going to need is a couple of these picks. Now, like I said, these picks you can get them at Harbor Freight. They're about, maybe, there's a total of 4 of them, and they're like just little different shapes. And I want to say I paid like $4.99 for these. I've had them for a long time. But they're very, very simple, but they work great for a lot of little things if you're working on your cars. So we're going to set those off to the side here. So what we're going to do is in order to be able to put the seat, or this seat cover on, this is going to be the hardest point, is getting these headrests off, and that's the same. It goes the same with the back seats. The back seats up at the very top up here where the pins go in. I'm going to show you that when we get to that point, but those they just push in with your hands, so it's your fingers, you can just get them pushed in. These, on the other hand, a little bit of a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to do here I'm gonna film me doing it here, but I'm also gonna film it with my phone, so you get a bird's eye view right here of what it looks like, and I'll be able to put that into the footage also. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start my. Let me see if I can start my camera right now. And like I said, if you get this part mastered, everything else is gonna be a cakewalk. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna start the camera now. All right, so here's the way your headrest sits, right? There's a button on the side that allows it to go up and down. Now, I pushed in the button, and I've already lifted it up, and I've already undone the hooks, but I'm going to show you what to do. So I'm just going to pull the headrest out right this minute so you can see. We're just going to get it out of the way, okay? Normally you would not be able to do that. All right, so now you're going to have these little guys right here. Okay, again, on the back side, there'll just be a button on the side. You just press in and it'll lift right off. But in this case, you're going to take these little guys and you're going to turn them, and you're going to feel they just kind of unscrew. And we're just going to set that here off to the side. Okay, so I'm just turning it here like that and lift it up and off. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my picks. Let's see, I'm going to grab the one with the hook. And I'm going to get right over here and I'm going to show you. Now, why GM decided to do this, I really don't know. But you can see here in a second, you're going to be able to see this little silver hook. So you got to get this foam. Let me see if I can get my finger to get the foam out of the way so you can see the hook. And it's a little silver hook, and it's right there. Do you see that? You can see if I can get my finger out of the way after I get this foam from the seat. Let me see if I can push it out of the way so you can see a little bit better. You kind of can see it, right? See if I can get that out of there. You see that little hook? See that little guy right? Let's see. There he is. See it? So all you're going to do is you're just going to get yourself in there with that hook. And I'm going to have to try to look through the computer screen or the camera screen and do it at the same time. Now let me get onto that hook really quick. Okay, so we'll get that over here like this, and I'll show you what it's doing once I can get to it. So let me see here. I'm going to come in with the hook like that. And then I'm just simply pulling. Now, if you see down, can you see down in there? You can see that little, maybe I can brighten it up a little bit, I'm not sure. But there's a little bit of silver, there's a silver pin, piece of metal. And you can see it moving. You can see that now? Okay, so with that, that's what's locking the stud in, right, on both pins. So when you pull it, I'm pulling it up and out of the way. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just literally just pulling over. And that's allowing that pin, the main pin of the headrest, to slide out. And it's the same thing on the other side. Let me show you over here. Okay, so it's literally right over here. Let me see if I can find it again. You see the pin down inside? It's that silver thing right there in the bottom. Okay, so it is over here, and you can see it right. There you go. I'm hooked onto it, and I'm pulling it. And you can see that the silver. See if I can get the camera focused there. You can see how it disappears when I pull it. There you go. So that's the trick. Okay. Nobody tells you that, and you can't seem to find that anywhere on the internet. Okay. And you try to get some instructions on how to do that, and it was like a nightmare. It took me a while to figure that out. Well, once you do that, then you'll be able to pull your headrest off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to shut this camera off, and we'll be able to continue on. So, all right, so guys, now what you're going to do, I'm just going to move this out of the way and see if I can keep from dumping all of my stuff right down in the hole here. All right, so now, these seats are marked with a tag that says airbag on them right here, Now, and your airbag is on the outside edge, so your airbag will go to the outside. Okay, so all you're doing is you're literally just going to slide your seat cover, and there's a zipper, so you're going to undo the zipper, right? Makes it easier for you to get it down on there, and you're going to slide it down. Okay, and you got to make sure that you're not folding it up on itself. Okay. But you can see I have to have the seat basically backwards here, lean backwards, to be able to get this to fit on and have clearance for the headrest to come out. Okay. And then you're just going to walk this all the way down. I'll probably have to go up to the front and we'll pull it down the rest of the way. Okay. Now at this point, we can probably go ahead and adjust the seat back down. And guys, I tell you, I don't know. Every time I film outside, it's always there's a helicopter flying by, or people vacuuming, or there's always noise. So I apologize for the noise, guys. It looks like the neighbor is having their lawn mowed. But we're gonna pull this down and just take your time, and it will go. Okay, you can see we're getting almost all the gap out of here. It's very, very tight. And that's what you want. You want it to be super tight because you want it to look factory. And we're getting there. And there's a lot of different points here that we can pull. Okay. We're almost there. Okay. Now, while I'm doing that, I can tell you that on the back side of these seat covers, they've actually got some really nice pockets in the back. And the seat themselves, the cushions, or the covers I should say, they are coming with some extra foam in there also. So it makes the seat tighter. It makes the seat sit a lot nicer. It's one of the things that I like right off the get-go when we do the Corvette seats all the time, is that it brings the life right back to the seat. Now, these seats aren't old, not in any way, shape, or form, but you know, I mean, it really does make a difference. Now, this is going, I can feel it, it's all the way down now, okay? And so what I can do is I can go ahead and I can start to zip this up. Now this is going to be kind of tight, and we're going to do this from the other angle. We'll get the camera on the inside over here when we do this one, so you guys can see from the back side what I'm doing back here. Okay, so just have a little patience with me. It's when you're in close quarters inside of a car or a truck, it doesn't always film as well, but I'm going to try to get all of the, might not be as pretty, but as some of my other videos, but I'm going to try to make it so you guys do get all of the information and you'll see exactly what I'm doing, so that way you'll have no problems doing this yourself. Now all I'm doing right this minute, guys, is I'm just adjusting the zipper to zip up. Okay, because you don't want to just like try to pull the zipper down and have it pull. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pull the two sides together to make sure that I get it zipped up, but I don't put all this excess, you know, stress on the zipper. I don't want to screw it up. And I am almost there. little bit more, and then we're golden. All right, so now we got that done. So now you want to put these little caps back up here on the top and not underneath the seat cover, because you could have put it under the seat cover and you would get the seat cover on, but you're never gonna get these headrests off ever again if you were to have these underneath, because it's just not gonna line up. So I just put it right here, I put it down, and I screw them down. Okay, and you can see, hopefully the camera's picking that up. I'll put the other one on, and then I'll get my camera on it from here, and that way you guys can see that. But you're just tightening this down, just like that. Let's see if I can get a, okay, so you can see right here. So there you go. So now, at that point, all we have to do is we can go ahead and we can just slide the headrest right back in place. All right, guys, now the next thing that we've got to do for this seat cover, and again, we'll probably be able to see if I can give you a little video from the phone, because again, this is going to be kind of hard to see. I'll turn the camera over down that way a little bit, see if you can see it this way also. So what we got going on over here, let me grab this light, see if I can show you a little bit better. And hopefully I think the camera's picking it up. Now down here on the back side of the bottom of the cover is our little, I don't know what you would call these. They secure the seat cover into the fold. So let me kind of demonstrate that for you. So basically what's happening is that this seat cover is going to go into the slot in between the bottom of the seat and the fold of the back seat. And basically all it's doing, I'm going to try to do it like this, it just slides through like this. It slides through the back side, you pull it through, and then you tilt it, and then it locks in place. But we're going the opposite direction here. So you've got 3 of them here. So I'm going to push those through to the back. Okay, and I'll push them through, and then I'll go to the back side, and I will, now that one just went right on over there, it just turned. This one here feels like it's about to, there's a lot of seat back there. There we go, that one went, and then we'll do this one also. Okay, just like this. And trust me, guys, if you get these in there just right, they're not coming loose unless you pull them loose. There we go. All right, so now the seat cover is in there and locked in place. Now, let me go ahead and go around to the back side with this camera, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, guys, so what we got is right here. Let's see if you can see that. Is that picking it up? Yep, there you go. See right there? Right there, there's 3 of them. And that's holding that seat in place. Now, when I just hooked onto my watch, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab the other bottom, and the bottom will have those 3 hooks in here also. I think it's 3. And they'll have those hooks in here, but we'll tie it in underneath here and get this all tightened down, and we'll get it all tucked in and stuff, and then we'll be able to see how that looks. But they utilize that little hook on all parts of the seats, and it just makes it so much easier, and it makes it very, very clean. As you can see, that's already starting to look really nice. You can see how this comes all the way down here like so. Comes right around there. There's nowhere to go for that. That just fits perfect, right? It just fits like a glove. You can't even tell that this wasn't a factory seat. All right, so now that we've got another cover here. Now, if you look on this side, each seat is going to have one side that's more leather on the side, than on the other side. Now this one is for this side of the seat because of the controls that are over here, so this is why we're going to grab that one, and then we'll grab the other one for the other side here in a minute. But you can see that we've just got two simple hooks that hook underneath the seat, and then we've got our tabs that we were talking about, right, our locking tabs that go in, and then we've also got one that goes around the seat from underneath. So this goes around and it snaps, okay, just like that. Now I'm gonna try on the other side to be able to get a camera in there so you can see that. I'm not holding my breath that you're gonna be able to see that, but underneath these seats, maybe after I get it in, that way I might be able to show it to you on the camera. But let's go ahead and get this little guy tucked in here. So we're gonna tuck this down on the side of the seat and on the inside of the seat belt holder. Okay, and then we're gonna tuck our little ears in. I'm gonna call them ears, guys, because I don't even know the actual term for this, but I'm gonna call it a connecting ear. See if I can get those to lock in. And you'll be able to tell when they flip. You'll know exactly that they're going to grab. If your fingers are a little bit longer, you'll probably be able to have not as much of an issue as I am. There's just a lot going in the back of the seat and the bottom of the seat there, and that fold, it's kind of deep for me. My fingers are almost not long enough. So, but if you have somebody that can help you, you could be pushing forward like this and somebody could be grabbing it on the back side, and then you wouldn't have a problem. So if you can get a friend or neighbor or somebody to help you with that, that'll make your life a little bit easier. But you can see how that's tucking in really nice now. Now the only other thing we got to do is we've got to be able to get this little guy down the seat. Okay, so we got to get that down there, and then you'll be able to reach, should be able to reach that from below. Okay, I just got to see if I can find a little spot to get that in there. And it should go down here. Hey guys, again, I'm sorry about the noise in the background. I just can't help it. It never fails. Like I said, anytime I seem to film outside, it always, I get somebody with a weed eater, lawnmower, helicopter, loud motorcycle. It's crazy. I try to film with the garage door shut all the time, but I need as much light as I can in this. Alright, so now that I got that down there, I should be able to reach, and I can feel it right there. And I'll go ahead and I'll pull it down. There we go. And then I can start to tuck this down in there. And I'm going to tuck this whole pad completely down into the seat. So the trim that you're seeing on the seat cover, the bead, should be totally tucked away in the seat. You shouldn't see it when you get over here. And I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. So you can see what that looks like. See how that just tucked all around? All the way around here, just like that. Okay. Alright. So now we're going to go ahead and we'll get all the other pieces tucked in. Alright guys, so you're still with me on that camera. So I'm just going to tuck in, I'm going to pull this strap over here that's up in the front. I'm just going to reach up there until I find a spot that's that's going to hold it. and because there's plenty of spots to grab underneath these seats. Okay. All right, so those are done. So then we've got one more thing we've got to do. So we've got to get our other hook right here, and we're going to tuck it down over here in the corner also. So we're going to tuck it down into the seat. And if you pull the seat back just a little bit, you'll be able to see daylight underneath there if you've got everything lit up. So that way you can just kind of tuck it down, and then you'll be able to push that right there into place. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down on the outside edge of the seat over here, and I'm going to grab right next to the seat belt arm. That'll pull this whole assembly down and over, just like that. And that looks really good. So let me see if I can grab my camera now. Come down here, you can see how I've got this tucked down here. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull it right over here like that. Okay, you can see what I'm doing there. And then what we'll do is we'll be able to take this one like that, and we'll snap those two together. Okay, so let me see if I can get my camera to stay up enough. I don't think I can. So let me snap it together really fast, and then I'll show you what I came up with. Okay. Yeah, that would have been a little tough to do. All right, so as you can see here, I'm gonna grab the camera now. So you can see I've got the little snap together, okay? And then we've got all of those hooks up there. You see that? They're all locked in place. So the seat's not going anywhere now. So now we've got a couple of flaps here. One, these are from the factory. These are from the factory seat. So we're just gonna reach up there, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab the hook to hook these up. And we're just gonna find a spot that we can tie to. Let me see if I can find a spot here. Hopefully you guys are being able to see this. Okay, there's one. And there's the other one. Okay, so now those are tied together. Okay, now the only thing we have to do is we're literally these are more for just trim to hide everything. So we're just gonna go here and we'll find a spot to hook these on, which they can go pretty much anywhere. So let me see if I can get a light in here so you can see. There we go. So this is a lot more light, okay? But our strap is up there. And then we've got these straps from the factory. We got those tied back up again. Okay? So they're right here. Okay? Right there, right there. And then these little guys, we can hook these on to pretty much anything. So I'm trying to see if I can get my camera to play nice here. Let's see if I can get that to hook onto something. There's that. Okay, we'll hook this one down underneath here too. Okay, just like that. All right. So now that one is actually done. Okay, this seat is finished. All we have to do now is just put the headrest on. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now, since I moved the seat forward, most likely the headrest is not gonna go in, as you can see right there, right? So we've got to move the seat back. So I've got to fold the seat back down. All right. So now, at that point, we can just put these in. And then these will just slide in and lock. No fighting it, no nothing. They just go right in. And then to be able to adjust it down, you just push this button, and you can go ahead and you can push it all the way down if you want. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move over to the passenger side, and I'll see if I can get the camera back into here so we can get you a different view. We're on the passenger side now, and we've got our headrest here. We've already broke them free because I showed you how to do that. So you're just gonna grab these so they don't fall off, and just grab it and lift up. Okay. So then at that point you can go ahead and you can set that off to the side. Okay, and we'll set our pins over there. All right, so now we've got the exact same thing going on over here. Now hopefully the camera is going to be able to pick this up. So I'm going to move it down because you don't need to see my head, but I'd rather you see what's going on down below here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the light down here because this is where our zipper's at. Okay, so I've got our zipper loose. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to put the seat cover on. Okay, I'm just going to do that. Get this little guy to go over. Again, making sure that the airbag tag, and if you've already done the driver's side, you only got one left anyway, so it's not going to matter, but you always want to make sure that the airbag tag is to the outside of the vehicle. Okay, so now we've got this pretty much where we've got it started. Now what we've got to do is we're going to let the seat come forward again so we can get some pressure downward. Okay, like that. Now we can start to pull it. And like I said, guys, these are pretty tight. And that's what you want. You don't want them loose. So we're gonna just kind of work it down. I'm gonna move the seat forward just a little bit so I can get a hold of it over here. Okay, so you just got to work it down. Grab the front lip of the seat, you can pull down. The seat's only going to go so far. There's only so much that you can do with it. We're going to pull it down a little bit more over here. And you just want to make sure that you get them level, get them even. So you just keep pulling and tugging. Now I'm doing it inside the garage, just for the simple fact that the lighting is the best for me for the camera. But I can tell you that doing this outside is going to be the better way for you to be able to get a better fit. You're going to be able to pull it down. The seat cover is going to be a little bit warmer, and you'll be able to manipulate it just a little bit better. It's getting close, but it's not quite right. This side is pretty much down all the way. This side over here still needs to come down some, so I'm going to grab it here, pull down. There we go. Come in the front a little bit more. Alright, I think I just about got it now. looking very, very much like it's level now. There's not a whole heck of a lot more I can do. There we go. That's as down as it's gonna go. Now what we're gonna do here is we've got to zip our zipper up. So we've got to we're gonna pull inward on our zipper. Hopefully you guys can see this. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. But we're gonna start moving the zipper down. You can see it goes down a little bit, but then we gotta pull the side of the seat and the other side together. And we are almost there. Almost. But that's what gives it that perfect fit. So you want to take your time, make sure that you get it stretched out just enough to be able to get the zipper all the way down. All right, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing that we did we're gonna start with the bottom of the seat in the front, and then we'll get it all tucked in. We'll get all of the little ears tucked in, and then we can come back and we can get all the straps done. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm thinking you might be able to go ahead, and I'm gonna move the camera back down like so, and then you saw what I did on the front. I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the front, and then we'll come back to the back here. So we'll just keep the camera running, and I'll put that other seat cover in place real quick. Alright guys, I'm gonna see if I can get out of the way, but still be able to show you what I'm trying to show you. So we've got our seat cover sitting here, right? And all we're gonna do is we're gonna take this little guy and we're gonna tuck it down inside the seat. Okay, so it's just gonna go, because you can see how this is, we'll get that to go down in here. Okay, so we'll tuck that down, and again, you're gonna be able to see daylight right there, and it's just gonna go down in there. Not a big deal. Okay, and you'll be able to reach down here, and you'll be able to pull that cord, or pull that strap. You can see what I did right there. See, there it is. Okay. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go ahead and adjust the seat so it's nice and smooth. We'll get that other strap. Okay, we'll get this strap. It's going down naturally right next to the seat belt. Seat belt strap. We'll be able to grab it from underneath here in just a minute. Alright, so now hopefully you guys can see this. So you can see this bead. See this bead right here? We're going to tuck that down inside the seat, or inside the trim here. That's what's going to give it that nice total finished look. Okay? And it will hold it in place. The bead will actually hold this seat down in there, and you won't have to be worrying about it coming out. Okay, there we go, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll tuck in all 6 of our little latches. The 3 from the top of the top part of the seat. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on the 3 that's on the bottom of the seat. Like I said, guys, you're going to be able to feel these. This isn't rocket science. It's nothing. When I first figured out how they work, I was like going, oh, that's pretty cool. And then after you realize exactly how they work, there is no secret to it. There's no magic. It just makes all the perfect sense. But I admit, the first time I saw it, I went, wait, what? We were doing a seat cover video back in the day. I think it was on the C7 with my buddy John.
And I'm like, I don't get this. I don't understand how this works. And he's like, just look at it for a second. You'll figure it out. So he had seen this before, and I guess the way the seats are done in helicopters. So I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, we're almost done. Gotta get this one more to lock. There we go. That's in there. Okay, now all we gotta do now, and hopefully again I'm not in your way, hopefully you can see this, but we've still got our two little hooks right here, and we're just gonna reach up there and we're just gonna find something that we can hook them onto. And there's a couple bars. It's really easy to find. You can see how simple that was. There we go. Okay, so that's taken care of. And I've got my headrest here. We're going to cover that here in a minute. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move back to the bottom on the inside. Because I think I got the perfect angle here finally, and so you guys can see this, but I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to pull this strap back, the factory strap. Same thing with this one. Now I got lucky. I really didn't need to take these loose, but I want you to see it. That here's those hooks that we're talking about. See right here, here, and here. The three for the bottom and the three for the top. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to just close this right back up. Don't want to smack yourself in the head, so just find yourself something that'll clip to. Okay, and there's plenty of spaces underneath here. You just want to just find a spot. It's like that. Let's see if I can find another piece. Right there. Come on. I know there's a spot. I can feel it. I don't know why it's giving me grief, but there we go. So we got that tucked back in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and get our, and this I'm glad, I think the camera's going to be able to pick this up really well. So here's our snap, right? These are the snaps from both sides. We're just going to snap that together, and then it just sits like that. It's real simple, okay? And then here, again, this is just cosmetic. Just find yourself a spot that you can hook this to. And again, the seat has got plenty of spaces that you can hook to. Just like that. Okay, and let me see if we can find one back here. Get my wrist to bend a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so now the only thing we got to do is we got to put the headrest back on there. Okay, but otherwise we've got everything done on the front seats. And so we'll go ahead and we'll put the headrests on right now, the headrest covers, and then we'll move to the back. All right, guys, hopefully you guys can see me, and I know the camera's a little bit off, but we're gonna go ahead and move with that. I have tried to get the dash to hold the camera the way I needed to. So now remember, what we've got here is we've got our little caps right here, right? We wanna put our caps in here. So we wanna get those in. Okay, so we're going to start those. So you just get them started and you turn them, and then they'll snap and lock. Okay, just like that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take. We've got our the two caps in here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to slide these down in, so just like that. Okay. Push it down. We'll push the button. We can push this down. And then we're going to want to lift it up just a little bit, because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our cover on, our headrest cover. Okay, so you're just getting it all tucked away, just like that. Okay, and we're just literally, should be a Velcro strap in here. Like that. So we're going to pull the Velcro down, and we're just going to walk the cover through. Now again, guys, these are very tight, but it's done on purpose so it fits like a glove. Okay, And the reason I put them on the seat first was because I can actually use the seat to get leverage. Otherwise, you're probably not going to be able to get these on if they're not on the seat. But you can see there that they are tight. There we go. So like that. Pull this one down. We're almost there, guys. And we can also lift the seat up a little bit more to be able to get a little more angle. And then, you see if I can grab my camera here from my phone. We're going to try something else. Alright, so now take a look at this right here. You can see that there's a hole, right? They cut the hole just for the button. But what you can do, it doesn't look very finished like that, right? Not at all. So what you can do is you can massage this with your finger and you can tuck it in, okay? So you can just start on one edge and you can do it. Maybe I can do it with my one thumb here to show you. That'd be nice if I can do that. There we go. It's working. Once we get that all tucked in there, look how finished that looks. Okay, and we're just going to repeat that on the driver's side. Well, guys, I just checked the camera to make sure that I got the footage there, and I didn't. So we still have the other headrest. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to train the camera over here. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put that headrest on this side. And then I'll show you the trick on how to get the button in. I got, for whatever reason, the camera went off when I thought it was on. So we're just going to move the hole here over to where the hole is on this one. We're going to pull it down. Okay, just like so. We'll pull our Velcro down. As tight as these are, you're not really going to need the Velcro. But it's there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we'll pull it all the way down. Okay, just like that, we're walking it down. Just like that. So they are tight, guys, so you're just gonna have to just walk them down. There we go, we're getting there. Okay, so we'll push the button here so we can get the seat cover or the headrest come up some so we can get this all the way down. Just like that. And then we'll tuck this side, pull it down too. And we're almost there. And then I'll show you the trick of how to tuck this in and look pretty. Almost there. Just gotta pull it down just a little bit more. So a lot of getting in and out, guys, but it's so well worth it. It's not even funny what it ends up looking like. Okay. Now we've got it pretty much where we want it. we can take our Velcro and we can strap that seat cover or that headrest up on there like that. Now, let me see if I can get my camera to work with me here. All right, so now what we're gonna do, let's see if I can come in here like so. So you can see how that's not very finished looking, right? You can see over here how nice that looks. We're gonna make this other seat just look just like it. So all you're doing is you're just gonna get this lined up, and then you're just gonna take your finger and you're gonna tuck it around. Let's see if we can get that going. Okay, so take a look at this. We're just gonna take our finger, we're gonna tuck it around like that. Now this would be a lot easier if I wasn't trying to film and do it at the same time. So let me see if I can get this started. Let's see here. Once I get it to go around the corner, it should be easier. There we go. I think you guys are getting the gist of it. It's like that. And just walk it around. Just like that. And there you go. Now we'll go ahead and we'll move into the back seat. So hey guys, we're in the back seat now, and I gotta say Chevrolet has changed a few things up on these little clips. They used to just come right out, but there's I left a couple of them in here so I can show you. But basically what's happening is that these are the little guys that sit down and your headrest fits down inside. And if you look here, you can see right here that there is this tab that's holding this thing in there, and you can't get the seat loose until you get these out. So I'm gonna see if I can try to show you, but basically what's happening is that you use your little hook tool and you can come down inside and you can grab it. See if you can see that. But what I'm doing is I'm literally just simple a turn just with my, to pull it up and to get that little guy to relax a little bit, right, and suck it in while I'm doing using a screwdriver to pry it up. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. Hopefully you kind of got the gist of it when I did the video, or when I just did this for you. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in here. The latch is facing straight here, the little part that's holding it. So I'm going to go in there. I can feel it right there with my pick. And so I'm going to go in there like that, and I'm just going to kind of twist it, and then I'm going to put my screwdriver right underneath here. There we go. So you can see it comes out. I'm going to pop my ring back on there. Come on. There we go. And we're going to do that on the last one right here. We're gonna, again, the hook is facing this way, so we're going to put the hook in the hole, and then we'll pry it out right here like this. And hopefully this one doesn't fight me as hard. Okay. There we go. All right, so now we got those free. So now the seat is still tight, and this will be fun when I can get this to come loose a little bit. I'll be able to hopefully show it to you, but it's almost like a clasp. I'll try to get you a good picture, but it's like a door lock clasp. And there's one right here, one right here, and one on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to reach, and they are pretty much like right here, and you can get it with your screwdriver. And well, there we go. Alright, so that one's done. So once I get the seat loose, I'll show you guys, because it's virtually impossible for you to see it from here. Alright. Now your seat is fairly free. Alright guys, we've got the seat loose. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go over everything here in just a second on how we go about getting it loose and getting it free. So we're going to go ahead and pull this free here. Let me go unhook the other side. Okay. Pull that out. I'll take this and we'll put this outside here so we can go over putting the cover on. Alright guys, so I definitely had misspoke when we were talking about the front being the hardest part of it. The fronts are easy, as you can see. We've already got those done, but we've got a lot going on here to be able to get the seat out of the back. The way these are designed, the straps are designed to go up and up like this and like this. And I'm going to show you that inside once we pull this out and put it on the seat itself. But it's wrapped around here so tight that you can't fish anything down there. You know, you've got all your amps and computers and all that type of stuff down in here, and it's just not going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about all the different things here. But what we're going to have is that what you got going on is you've got all these the headrest covers, right? Those little guys, they all go in like so, right? And there's those little clips that I showed you when we were releasing them with the hook, and so we've got to get all those out. Then you've got 3 latches. These are just like door latches or hood latches. So they go here, here, and right over there. And those have all got to be, you've got to be able to get in with a screwdriver. You lift it basically up against the seat, and then those will come free. Then you've got 4 10mm bolts down at the bottom, which then allows the seat to finally come out. So this is where you're definitely going to have a little bit of work to do if you've got the base truck. If you've got the nicer of the trucks, then you're probably not going to have this type of issue. You know, I've just got the base seats, so that's it there. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this seat cover right back out here, and we're going to see if I can get it free. There we go. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to jump onto the other camera, and I'll show you that we'll get this seat skinned, and then we'll put it back in the truck. All right, guys. Once we've got the seat out of the truck, let me go ahead and shut this off here, so I won't be blinding you guys. But what you're going to do there, we're just going to go ahead and lay the seat down. Okay, just like how it would be in the truck. This is okay. And we're going to go ahead and skin the back seat here. So we'll put this on, okay, just like that, and we'll get it all wrapped around. Okay, just like that. All right, so now we're going to flip this over. Again, if you've got somebody that's around that can help you, that'll make your life just that much easier. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this hooked up. Okay, it's like that. And then you can see how these straps work. Straps basically are just going So we'll get that centered. Just like that. And this one will go here like that. Okay. Same thing with this one. We'll do the same thing here. And this one will come up here like that. Okay. Same thing with this one. Okay. So as far as actually skinning the seat, very simple. But doing that without taking the seat out is impossible. Just flat out. Thought I could do it, but it's not going to play nice. So we'll do it this way. Hook right there. Okay, and then we've got a couple of hooks here. Let's see if I think we can just go across like to those. Same thing over here. We can go across to those. That's going to bring them, tuck them in. And then we'll be able to do the same thing over here on this. Just like that. And like that. So we'll flip it over. And there we go. You can see that looks pretty good. We're going to scoot. Everything's got to scoot this way just a little bit to line up with the holes. So this one's got to come down just a little bit. Same thing over here. There we go. That's a little bit more like it. There we go. So just massage everything, make sure that that your holes are all lining up. Okay. There we go. That's looking much better. Okay, all our holes are lining up now. We have no sags. That's all tucked in. Okay. Alright, so take a look at that. Looks pretty good, don't you think? Alright, so now we can go about putting them back together. Okay, so like I said, guys, you've got down at the very bottom, along the bottom of the seat, you're gonna, on the floorboard, you'll have to lift the bottom of the seat up to be able to see the 4 10mm screws. They're securing the seat down. Let me see if I can show you that so you can see. Let me see it. Yeah, there you go. So there's a hole here, 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 and here. That's got the 10mm screws in it. Okay, and so then you've got the 3 latches. Remember that? You've got one here, you've got one right here, and you've got one right here. So we've got to make sure that our strap it'll still go through there. So we want to make sure that our strap is okay so we can get our latch to go through there. So you'll have to look at that when you're putting the seat back in. And then you've got your pins. It'll be easy to drop them back in. It was just kind of a nightmare on how to get them out. Once I figured out how to do it, it was great. It was easy. Okay, now you guys know the secret, so that's very cool. We are in the truck again, and what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we take our seat belt and we wrap it around here first. So let me get this like that. This has got to go around it. You don't want to forget that. That would really suck having to take it back apart to be able to do this. Okay, so now what I would recommend that you do is that before you latch anything at the top, you go back down and you put your 10 millimeter screws back in. Okay. Make sure your seat belt, all that type of stuff is out of the way. Okay. There we go. Make sure your little straps are out of the way and everything else. Okay, so now we're sitting a little low, it looks like. And we have to move our strap over. So now we're gonna go back over here. We're gonna go back underneath. And we're gonna put our 10 millimeter screws back in. So I've got a really long extension here. So I can do this. So we've got to drop make sure that the leather and everything is in the way. They're not in the way. And we got to drop this down. So this has got to go without clobbering ourselves. The seat's got to come down a little bit more. Yeah, the seat's a little high. So we got to get that lowered down. Okay. That's getting closer. Alright, so now let's go ahead and see if we can push our seat up now. That seemed like it worked a little bit better. And let's see here. And we are really close. It's got to come down just a hair more. But we're in there now. Okay. So I apologize for this part, guys. You know that you guys can't see it. I mean, I showed it to you without the seat in. And that gives you a pretty decent insight, but all you're doing now is just lining things up. So I'm getting that started. I'm gonna get all four of them started before I go any further, before I tighten them up. But they're in there a little ways. You can reach them with your hands, but they're definitely in there a little ways. That's two. Let's see if we can get the other two. Yeah, I can see them. I just gotta see if I can get my hand in there to do what I need to do. Okay. And then we got one more that's gonna go right here. Let's see if I can put that inside my tool here. Maybe I can reach it a little bit easier. All right, so now we got that going. All right, so we got those started. So now, I'm still not going to tighten them up yet, okay? I want to make sure that my latches latch first, okay? So I'm going to make sure that my straps are not in the way. I think we're good. So I think so. I'm going to pull the strap kind of out of the way just to make sure. right. So now we can go ahead and we can put all of our inserts back in. And those just go with a flat spot toward the window. And then you just go ahead and you put them in there like that. You'll have to wiggle the seat around to get it to go. There we go. Now we can put this one back in. That one should go. Yep. There we go. So now we've just got them all in the holes ready to go. So now we can go ahead and we can insert them. Okay. There we go. I think that locked. Nope. There we go. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll get these in there. Okay, so you have to put some shoulder into it, I'll tell you, that's for sure. There we go. Alright, so then these little dudes, they just go in. Just gotta find their sweet spot, bang them in there. Like that. That one ain't gonna wanna go. We'll get this one to go. That's it, put a little shoulder into it. There we go. One more. There we go. There's that one. And that one. Okay, so now we got our back seat back done. All we got to do is put our headrests on. We'll do that in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the bottom now. All right, and so the bottom is two pieces, one for this side and one for this side. Okay, so we'll go grab those and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're at the bottom. You can see this is just all a bunch of snaps. So we're just gonna start over here on the bigger side. We'll go ahead and we'll put it down first, I guess. That would make more sense. Pick up this side. And we'll get this tucked in. That. Alright, so we got it pretty much started. Now what we can do is we can lift it up. Now we can start to see all of our straps. So the straps here are going to go across from here to here, like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing over here. Like that. And then we've got our other ones that are down here, which we got to feed them back down through. So we'll push all these little dudes back through. Just push them down. There we go. We'll push this one back down through also. Just like that. And like that. Tuck your stuff in. Okay, and then we're going to lift up. And we should have our straps here. There we go. Right there and there. Okay. Just like that. Alright, so now we've got our strap here. Okay. We got our strap here. And we got our strap right here. And we got one more right here. All right, so now that one is done and it looks great. All right, yeah, can't ask for a better fit than that. All right, so now we're down to the last one. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put it down. We'll lift this one up, get it out of the way, so now we can do this. We'll tuck these little guys down in there. Okay, like that. Get our latch all the way down there. There we go. That tucked away. Then we can lift this one back up. Put this one back down. A lot of shuffling around, but it's okay. In comparison to what we just had to do with the back, it's a cakewalk. All right. Now we just got to tuck this up in there. Get that more tucked up in. Just like that. All right, so now we are down to just the headrests. So we've got our headrests here, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna slide them on. And we've got some Velcro here, like we had on the fronts. So we just want to make sure our corresponding hole goes with the hole on this the headrest, and we're just gonna slide it down. And again, these are pretty tight, but you want them to be tight. I'm trying to give it a little bit, because of the amount of space it's left here, I'm trying to see if I can do this without putting them on first. And it looks like we're going to be able to. We just got to get them adjusted. Almost there. Okay. Almost got the button to line up here, so we're almost there. All right. You can see here we got the button to line up. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna give it a little help to go around. Like that. There we go. You can see right there. Fits like a glove. Now we can go ahead and flip that like so. We can go ahead and put this one down in there. And there's one. Alright, so now we're going to do the other one. Same thing. Alright. We're gaining on it, guys. We're almost done. these are tight. There's no doubt. I know everybody gives me a bad time about all my long videos, but I can tell you what, this one is definitely going to be a long video. Covering all the stuff that we got going on here is crazy. Alright, so now we got our hole here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to line it up. Walk it around. Gotta get it to move over just a little bit. There we go. Alright, and then hopefully you can see what I'm doing here again. We'll just start at one side and we'll walk it around. We're just a little too far off. You almost got to get this dead center to make it work right. And just a little off. I don't make it sloppy because I want it to look good. I think we got it this time. There we go. Alright. Be careful of that. Put this little guy down like so. Flip that up. Alright, now we're down to the very last one, guys. The little guy. We don't have to worry about getting anything lined up. It's just gonna do it the same shape. So the pillow is the same size. And we can Velcro it. I didn't Velcro those. I should have. But we will. Like that. Do it like that. There's that. We'll Velcro this one. Velcro this one over here. And guys, we're done. All right. There you have it, guys. Now, I tell you, this looks... I'm trying to stay out of your way, but you guys can see this looks totally factory. It looks awesome. I can't get over it. I love the look of the way this thing looks. It just totally increased the value of the truck and definitely the look for sure. So anyway, that's about it. So guys, hopefully you found this video helpful and informative when it comes time that you want to put seat covers in your truck. You'll know exactly where to go. I'm going to put all of that information right here on the bottom of the screen. Go to kustominterior.com. They have a lot of different variations of the style and the colors and all that type of stuff. And so he'll be able to get you set up, okay? They have them not just for the Silverado. They've got them for a lot of other vehicles, like I said, including the Corvette, as you well know, because I've done a lot of videos on that, as well as the Dodge Charger. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for spending the time with me today to be able to go over this. I know this was a very long video, but I try to be as thorough as possible, and I wanted to make sure that you knew exactly what you were up against. The The front seat's very, very simple. The bottom of the back seat, very, very simple. But the back seat, the back part of the back seat, that is a bear. And hopefully all the little tricks that I showed you on how to get all those latches out will make your life so much easier when you decide you're going to do it for yourself. Okay. GM was pretty sneaky on how they did all this stuff, but anyway, we figured it out. We got it all done, and now you know exactly how to do it. Okay, so guys, thanks again for watching. If you guys have not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell. It doesn't cost anything at all, and it will help me build, my subscriptions. And it helps the algorithms for me to be found. It also helps with the companies that want to sponsor me. The more numbers I have, the higher numbers I have, the more willing that they are to want to sponsor me. And so I would really appreciate that. So guys, again, thanks again for watching, and we'll talk to you later.